Is this a fair policy, or is it criminalising people?
No, this is a fair policy. I don't think you got it quite right a couple of minutes ago. We're not going to give arriving asylum seekers at Dover a cup of tea and an ankle bracelet. We're only going to be tagging high-risk people. That's people that are likely to disappear, and the first people to be tagged will be the people that should have been on the plane last week. I think it's actually quite an idea, because people complain about people being locked away in detention for months and months and months. Now we're saying, well, you don't have to go into detention, we'll tag you instead. And I think that's a much better idea.
Explain to us, actually, what does happen to people if they're, for instance, in one of those terrible dinghies and they're rescued and brought ashore and they come before people like yourself. What then happens to them, usually?
They won't come by people like me, because I was in Calais, so we never actually dealt with asylum in Calais. But what happens at Dover is they're rescued, they're brought into a facility at Dover, checked over just to make sure they're all right. Then they go off to Manston to be processed, and then they're dispersed. They're dispersed? Yes, round the country. Linton-on-Ouse and places like that.
And what sort of security is there? I mean, because certainly we were looking at this new centre that's caused a lot of controversy. I don't think it's actually opened as yet, but the one using a former RAF base in a small village somewhere. I mean, it's almost, like an open situation. People can come and go as they please. Is that generally what happens?
No. You've got two types. You've got the people living in that former RAF base at Linton-on-Ouse, which is not a closed area. And then you've got people in immigration detention, which is closed. So the people that would have been removed to Rwanda last week were actually detained at a detention centre.
People who go to camps like Linton-on-Ouse, as you've said, they've entered the country illegally, and they've been put into these camps. They can then just disappear. So they've succeeded, haven't they, in coming to this country illegally?
They have indeed, Anne, and you've hit the nail right on the head. These people, once they're here, that's it. They've won the jackpot, because they know they're never going to be removed. So that's why it would be good to be able to tag them. I mean, I don't know if you know that there are 37,302 people that have absconded, and that's the latest figure that I've got for 2020.
You think? Sorry, Anne, I was just going to say, why do you think that some campaigners are so dead set against this policy? Then, if you say it just makes absolute common sense.
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I was discussing this with somebody last night, and they say, well, it's bad for their mental health to be tagged, because it makes it look as though they're criminals, which, of course, if they've come across the channel now, they have broken the law. And if you break the law, then you expect a consequence. These people break the law, and they don't expect any consequence whatsoever. It's so unfair.
If I'd come into this country illegally and I'd been tagged and I was sent somewhere like the camp at Linton-on-Ouse and I was allowed to just come and go fairly freely, what would stop me having my tag cut off, because I wouldn't care, and then just disappearing into the community? There would be
nothing.
Doing that,
nothing at all.
No, that's not going to work either, then, is it?
And people are doing that, but we can't securely detain everybody that comes into the country. This is why we have the Rwanda plan, because we're going to remove them.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.